Awesome. Says I'm live. What's up? What's up, YouTubes? Happy most productive day of the week. I'm your host, Lisbeth Overton, and welcome to day 2 of the Manifest Miracles Challenge. My intention for this experience is to give you more confidence in being able to manifest with way more ease and way more fun. I've been studying law of attraction, manifestation for 11 years. The coolest thing I've ever manifested was my second husband, and um, I like to teach people how to tap into your spiritual connection and this idea that you are an extension of source. And so when you're plugged into that, when you're tapped into that, like all things become possible. You tap into the quantum nature that you are. And so today I want to share a very simple and very powerful practice that you're probably already doing, but you're not aware of it, that will help you just amplify your ability to have crap tons of fun, activate your imagination and your creativity big time, and to manifest faster. Like, anyway, okay. And also, if you play along with me, I want to reward you, give back for you engaging, playing my sandbox. So I have a couple prizes that I will be giving away on December 21st, 24th, Christmas Eve. The first is the Divine AF Journal, Daily Affirmations and Manifestation Journal for Women. There is a link in the comments. It's a gorgeous journal. Every day has a different affirmation. And then there's a place for you to like reflect on, well, what do these words mean to me? Because when you ask yourself questions, that is when you open up to the infinite and the quantum for you to be able to tap into your spiritual, divine, eternal nature. Because that's what you are. It's just nobody teaches this stuff. And also, it's not something that we're used to practicing. So two people will win one of these. And then another person is going to win a one-on-one sesh with me where we are going to tap into what is your one primary limiting belief that is disallowing you to manifest whatever you want. Because anything that you ever desire is placed in your soul so that you can bring it, co-create it with the universe into the physical plane. Like that's what you signed up for. And so we're here to make that happen. So I want to teach you something called mental rehearsal, or otherwise known as being your own movie producer, being your own cinematographer extraordinaire, whatever you want to call it. Visualization. This, all Olympic athletes do this, and you're probably already doing this, but you're doing it in reverse or for worst case scenario. Have you ever thought of a person or a situation and all of a sudden down the rabbit hole you go, and you're thinking worst case scenario, and you're like visualizing and seeing all these things? I'm sure this has happened to you. It's happened to most humans. And so that is an example of visualization. It's like you see one scene and then it creates another scene and another. However, you can master manifestation very quickly by mental rehearsal. So this is why this is so powerful. So your you have what's called neuroplasticity in your brain. And so all that's just a fancy word that means, so you have lots of billions of neurons in your brain. And I'm sure you've heard the saying, neurons that fire together wire together. And that's true. And so most humans have, basically it's like roller coaster tracks in your brain of certain thoughts, certain memories, and certain emotions. When they get turned on or triggered, it goes in this loop, and it's like it's hard to get off. Well, the cool thing is, when you visualize something or you mentally rehearse something in your mind, your brain, the same neurons that fire in your brain when you're physically practicing, like let's say basketball, let's say you're mentally rehearsing the free throw and you're making it in the basket every single time. Your brain doesn't know the difference between physically doing it, like you're physically you have the ball in your hand and you're throwing it in the basket, versus if you're just mentally rehearsing it. Okay, like I could smell the ball, I could smell the court, I could smell like my shoes, I could smell the air, and I can visualize myself mentally rehearsing shooting the ball in the hoop. The same neurons are firing whether you're physically actively doing it or you're just mentally rehearsing it. Like, that's neuroscience, and that's why all Olympic athletes practice mental rehearsal. So a fun way for you to manifest with way more ease is to think of the thing that you want to co-create with the universe. Maybe it is your twin flame. And then you create, so you think of this, so you want to meet this specific person. And so then you basically can create 3 scenes of a mental rehearsal or a movie of you and the twin flame. So maybe one scene could be you're together at a coffee shop, and like, again, like as much sense detail as possible. Like, what is the texture of the clothes you're wearing? What is the scent of the coffee shop? And what is the taste of the coffee? And like, what are you wearing? And what is the other person wearing? And what are you saying? And what are you feeling? That could be one scene. So another scene could be you're exchanging text messages with this person, and it's just like this really juicy, feel good emotions of like ease and safety and attraction and just yumminess. And then another scene could be, I don't know, you're like you're getting hitched at the chapel, like whatever it is. So you can be as creative as you want, and it's your imagination is the portal to be able to connect with your higher self, the divine, all that is. And so when you practice that skill, it's no different than like a vision board. The reason people love vision boards is because you're harnessing all your energy and your focus onto this desired outcome that you have. However, something that a lot of people miss in manifestation is the energy and the emotion. Like what is the elevated emotion that you're feeling? And when you're visualizing something, you can actually pretend like you're going through the emotions, the experience. And if you wake up every morning and before you get out of the bed, you mentally rehearse, you visualize the 3 scenes, and you actually evoke the emotions, the smells, the aromas, like all of that, you could literally do that in 3 minutes. And the more you practice it, the better it comes. And if you practice that over and over and over and over again, the same neurons in your brain that fire, if you were like physically meeting this person for coffee, if you're physically walking, getting married in the chapel, your brain doesn't know the difference. It's like it doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. So it will believe what you tell it. So that is a very powerful tool that I want to share with you. And if you're watching the replay, let me know, do you practice this? Are you an athlete? I mean, pretty much I think all athletes know about this because it's just part of training. I mean, I think all athletes learn that. So anyway, that's what I want to share with you today. And then I am going to do a reading from the Divine AF affirmation deck. This is 44 spiritual truths to uplift and amplify your divine essence every single day. So every card has an idea, a word for you to focus on. And then on the back, there is a message. There is some wisdom. And then, of course, the most powerful part of these cards are the questions. Because the questions are a way for you to bypass your subconscious and the limiting beliefs. So let us see what the wisdom, what is the message that wants to come out today? And this is this one. Oh my goodness, this was the same card that we pulled yesterday, y'all. It is safe to love. This woman is opening up her heart chakra, and this is the message. It is safe for me to open my heart to love. And here's your question. That's funny. I was talking about the twin flame. Maybe that's why this card was pulled, because the energy is all around. relationships. Where in your life can you open to a wee bit more love? Perhaps it is more love for yourself. How can you express that love today? Perhaps a little more grace and self acceptance. And so, how can you open yourself to a little more love? Do you need to give a little more compassion, a little more grace, a little more room for mistakes? I would love to hear from you. And there are links in the description for both the journal and the card decks. And of course, if you play and you share this with 3 of your friends, if you follow me on the socials, you will be entered to win. 2 people will win the journal. One person will get a session with me, so that we can discern what is your like big limiting belief that's keeping you from being able to manifest. And then I want to share one of my favorite manifestation teachers, Florence Scovel Shinn. If you've never heard of her, you must Google her. She was way ahead of her time. She was a writer in the 1930s, and she wrote a book called The Game of Life and How to Play. And she said 2 very powerful things, and I believe in them wholeheartedly. The first is your word is your wand. So what you say matters immensely, especially when it comes to the game of manifestation and law of attraction, right? What you put out is what you're receiving back. And then so be conscious, like, what are you saying? And if you're not liking what's showing up in your experience, well, it's time to look at your words and your thoughts, right? The other thing that she said that's so powerful is you receive what you prepare for. So what are you preparing for? Like a long, cold winter, a celebration, a party, like to win, to succeed, to expand, to evolve, to thrive. So that is what I leave you with today. I hope this message resonates with you, and just know that whatever desire that you have in your soul is there for you to be able to co-create it with the universe. And the more fun you have on the way to the physical manifestation of your desire, the faster it will come. And if you practice this mental rehearsal, it will come quite quickly. Okay. Talk to you tomorrow. Ciao.